Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. Jamaica's Fiscal Commissioner, Courtney Williams, is warning that the economic reconstruction following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa will fuel higher imports. Mr. Williams says the increase in imports combined with a decline in exports is expected to place added pressure on the country's balance of payments. He also cautioned that government revenues could continue to trail expenditure over the medium term. The Fiscal Commissioner noted that Hurricane Melissa is projected to cause an $80.5 billion decline in tax revenues, reducing collections to about 25% of gross domestic product, down from over 27%. His comments come against a background of a 3.6% increase in imports to $5.7 billion during the first 9 months of the year, while exports fell 2% to just $1.3 billion. As a result, Jamaica's trade deficit widened by $200 million to $4.4 billion during the period under review. And we now wrap up our series with Forbes magazine top futurist Dr. Claire Nelson, who shares 5 trends that Jamaicans need to be aware of to carry them into the next 5 years in regards to investing and entrepreneurship. We have spent quite some time with Dr. Claire Nelson, futurist and author and a self-described space junkie who has worked from her post in the US to bring space clubs to the education field in her hometown of Jamaica. But we really now want to really dial down into the ecosystem that supports any future planning, and in particular, we want to talk about investing and entrepreneurship. And we want to know from Doc if she can see in the future 5 trends that Jamaicans need to be aware of to carry them into the next 5 years. Doc.
Well, I wrote these down so I won't forget. So
okay.
5. So first we're talking about renewable energy and energy services, right? We just look better at how we do it and with better, more reliability and more micro versions of it. So that might upset the upper class a little bit, but we need to think about that.
Okay.
Second, agriculture, climate smart agriculture. We have got to get more people growing food. The food costs are too high. We've got to get those greenhouse farming technologies. We've got to get the plant-based protein systems up and running so we can do a better job of giving our people proteins to protect our health as well. So climate smart agriculture and plant-based agriculture. Third, resilient construction and retrofitting.
Yes.
We need to do a whole bunch of work on getting affordable construction and retrofitting technology that makes it easier for people who are in the working class, who are renting, or the landlords who are renting those homes to provide safer housing, right? So there's that. Fourth, we need to have digital and remote services. That's a place that Jamaica can do much more work. And I know lots of people are online, we have the call centers, but of course with AI, we got to up our game in terms of what kind of skills. So I think we have to be much more intentional about creating not the call center people, but the people who are actually doing software programming and AI training, etc., that can have a better job opportunity in the digital sector. And finally, circular economy, circular economy, circular economy. We are way behind in that. We're not where we should be in terms of recycling, waste to energy, sustainable manufacturing. We have a lot of work to do. And I'm really hoping that we can get a university like UTech to be much more hands-on on the ground. But first of all, doing it themselves, right?
Okay.
There are like a mini town there that if they can solarize their campus, if they can have a mini waste recycling system there where they can incentivize people who are going to be futures leaders to understand that this is the way as small islands we ought to be thinking about, then perhaps we can see finally waste energy systems and recycling being taken up in a serious way in Jamaica. But we've got to start, I think, with the tertiary institutions, the UAs, the UTECs, the MICOs, which are training our leaders to do that. We want to have the circular economy be put in place as soon as possible.
Okay, and there you have it. 5 trends that's going to take us to the next 5 years. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Nelson.
so much.
All right. For the trading period of January 29, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 11,805,365 units, or 20.53% of market sales activities. Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited with 7,221,758 units represented 12.56% of market sales activities. NCB Financial Group Limited with 4,838,404 units representing 8.42% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in transportation, advertising, and financial plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for January 29, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. US dollar trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $157.60 and buying at $156.12. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by 59-cent transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $116.16 and was bought for $115.57. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of $7.26 in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $217.69 and was bought for $210.43. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, use your credit report as an active tool for climate change preparation. Climate readiness requires upfront spending on solar energy, water catchment, home hardening, backup power, and rising insurance deductibles. Costs most households finance, not pay in cash. A strong credit report allows you to secure these protections sooner, at lower interest rates, and with more financing options, instead of delaying action until risk becomes loss. By monitoring, repairing, and strengthening your credit now, you create the financial capacity to invest in climate resilience, absorb future shocks, and recover faster when disruptions occur. In a changing climate, your credit report is not passive paperwork. It is a working asset that helps you prepare, protect, and rebuild. In our funding and focus feature, while government contracts are a strong revenue option for your business, government payments are not always immediate. Contracts may involve 30, 60, or 90-day payment cycles. Businesses need to know how to plan cash flow, manage upfront costs, and assess whether they can sustain operations while awaiting payment. As an example, when our client Trevon learned government payments could take up to 90 days, his do-it-yourself panic set in. However, with guidance, he planned reserves and negotiated supplier terms to stay afloat. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital, markets, and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.